I like boxes. I like to make boxes. Short boxes, tall boxes, skinny boxes, fat boxes. Today's video is about this box. These will be my materials for my box. I'm using some 1/2 inch copper piping and some 3/4 inch copper piping. I'm just cleaning them up a little bit. Now I'm taking a pipe cutter and I'm cutting the pipes. Now I'm going to shape these little rings that I've made out of the copper pipe, and I'm using just an ordinary pair of pliers to squish them into petal shapes. Next, I'm taking a piece of red oak and I'm going to be using it for the basic shape of my box. I'm going to channel out the center section of this board, and this will be where I'll be putting my copper inlay with resin. Next, I'm going to be cutting a channel out for the bottom base of the box. I have this 1/4 inch thick plywood that I'll be using for the base, and it fits just right in the channel. Next, I'll be doing the same thing for the top of the box. Again, another perfect fit. Now I'm going to be measuring the length and the width of my box onto this long piece of board. Before I put the resin in, I'm coating it with a coat of sanding sealer. I've laid out all my copper pieces into the channel, and now I'm going to glue each one separately so they will stay in place when I get ready to pour the resin. This is what the layout looks like. Now I'm taking some scrap wood to dam both of the edges of the board so that the resin doesn't leak out. Today I'll be using Naked Fusion Diamond Clarity resin. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm going to color the resin with some silver gray and some silver white mica powder. Now I'm using my blowtorch to pop all the air bubbles. Swirl, swirl, swirl. This will create a nice pattern in the resin. Using the chop saw to miter cut the corners of my board. Now I'm cutting the 1/4 inch plywood to use as the base and the top for the box. Well, I'm getting ready to glue up the box. Now I have all my pieces cut. I did make an adjustment on the height. I took off 1/4 inch on the bottom and 1/4 inch on the top. And I also took out the channel that I had on the top simply because I want my top piece to fit without all the thickness of that wood. Some of that wood will be sanded down to make the whole side level. You can see it's about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to be sanding the wood down and have all this level. So I'm going to be gluing this up now with some epoxy, and I will be putting the base in here, and we'll go from there. Have to admit that this cut made me a little nervous. It's easier to cut the box after it's been shaped. That way the lid matches perfectly with the box. Now I'm just taping it together so when I do the sanding process, they will sand evenly.
Two 2,000 years later.
This sanding is taking a really, really long time. So being limited on my tools, I don't have my drum sander, so I couldn't sand this perfectly even before I put the box together. And so I'm kind of winging it. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to shave down the wood as close to the resin as I can get on the table saw, and then go ahead and sand it. That way my sanding time will take a lot less. So I finally have the edges even. I'm going to start sanding down with higher grits starting at 120, and then I'll probably end up with 1,000 or 1,500 if I've got it. Time for the glue up on the lid now. I'm gluing the flat section of the top to the frame, and I'm using epoxy. And this will be reinforced with some hot glue around the corners to make sure that the epoxy that I will be filling this with won't leak out. Now I'm gluing up some very skinny strips of oak onto the inside of the lid, and this will make the closure of the box more solid. Same process for the sides of the box, again with the copper inlay pieces gluing down before I put the resin in. So pretty smooth now. Again, I'm going to work my way up from 40, which I already did. I'm on 120 now. I'm going to go up to 1,000 with a wet dry. I normally use lacquer to coat the outside of my projects, but this time I'm using something different. So let's hope it works. Final stages, I'm just painting the bottom of the box and the underside of the lid in the same color paint as the resin to make it match and to make it look a little prettier inside. Same spray finish on the inside as well. Since I have the copper inlay, I'm going to put these copper hinges that I found online, and I think they will make a nice addition to the box. Got to make sure I drill those pilot holes in there, otherwise those tiny little screws will just snap right off. And here we have another Lizzie Made This production. So here's the finished box. I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoyed watching the process. Please join me again for another fun project video coming up soon. Take care, have a wonderful and creative day. Thanks for watching. Bye.